So man, it's your big brother K-Rino. I'm on my late night, back on my late night action. It's midnight down here in good old Texas. We down here in Texas, y'all, and it's midnight. We don't really talk like that. That's not really how we talk. I know we got some country. I know we got some country slang to us. I know that we got a little country tone about us. But you got to really go deep, deep down to hear people talking like that. Hey, and let me let y'all know what's going on out here right now. We don't talk like that. Now we say talk, walk, y'all. Yeah, we do say that. That's how we talk. I've had people from other regions tell me that I sound funny to them. I understand that because it's a different region. They sounded funny to me. But that's the beauty of life. That's the diversity of life that we get to travel and talk to people from all different parts of not just the world, but just right here in the country that have different accents and different tones and slangs and draws and voice inflections that make us unique. So, why am I talking about this? I don't know. It just came out. But y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for your big brother as you enter into the room. As you enter into the room, hit that like button for your big brother, and y'all see the title. So we gonna go. I ain't gonna say we gonna go deep, because sometimes it ain't always good to go deep because you want to kind of stay on the surface with certain things so people can get a clear understanding. We like to try to prove we know so much, so we try to um, go so deep and use big words and articulate the point in detail and break down the scientific nature of the etymology of every. We ain't got to do that. Sometimes it's simple as saying 1 plus 1 is 2. But I got one of these, and I got one of these, and I got two of them. It's that simple sometimes. And that's what we're going to do on this topic tonight because too many times we see. And number one, let me say this real quick. I appreciate y'all for coming in this late. I've been doing good. I was doing good. I was getting on here like 8:30, 9:30. I was doing good. But we back on our late night tonight. So I'm glad that y'all would be on here with me. I see a few of y'all trickling in. So however many of y'all are in here, please believe, I'm very grateful for y'all's presence, man. We in this thing tonight. But too many times, man, we go through situations where somebody wrongs us, somebody does something wrong to us, and it could be on a small scale or it could be on a big traumatic scale. It could be something that was done that was really, really um, horrible and horrific done to us, and it has a lifelong effect on us. Now, one thing that I heard somebody say a while back, they said that you can't always control what a person does or what happens in a situation, but you can always control how you respond to it. You can control your actions in the aftermath of it. So regardless of what it is that you might have went through, anybody that's on this chat, whatever you went through, um, it might have been traumatic. It might have been tough. It might have been something minor, or it may have been a series of things from different directions, because sometimes people just go through a streak in life where they just get a bunch of bad breaks from every angle. This happened over here. This person did this over there. That person did that back there. And the accumulation of all these things kind of weigh on us to where you on the verge of snapping. So it could be little things that add up. It could be one or two things that just leave an imprint on you. But whatever it is, you have the ability to control your reaction to it. You have the ability to dictate what your response is. And there are people who are going to try to do things to get a particular response out of you and push that button to try to take you over the top. So it's about self-control. But I'm gonna go into a few things, man, that might be a little, uncomfortable for some people. But I think, we gotta go there. Like if you take an individual who may have been abused growing up, you have somebody who's, you know, father, even their mother may have been very physically abusive towards them. In a lot of cases, those types of upbringings create a pattern and create a cycle that transfers over to the child, to the child, to the child, all the way down the line. And then you look up, and that same abused child has grown up, had children, and now they are abusing their children because that was the type of discipline and the level of discipline that they received growing up. And so they either felt like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. They either felt like this is all I know, or they felt like it just triggered something in them that that anger regenerated and came and jumped down to the generation, which is them. And now that cycle of abuse has continued, with their own children. This is a really good example of why we have to do our best to not become like the people who did us wrong. If somebody abused you, that's a horrible thing. That's a terrible thing. But we also know how we felt when we were receiving that abuse. We know that it wasn't something that we liked, didn't feel good, wasn't something you looked forward to, wasn't something that you was like, okay, yeah, I can deal with this. And regardless of people may say this, it wasn't something that you ever got used to. People will say that, well, after a while, man, it just became normal. It just became the way, and it may have become um, the norm in the household, but it's not normal behavior, and it's not something that you got used to, and that trauma still sits with you. So we have to understand, okay, I don't want to make anybody feel the way this person or these people caused me to feel. And that's what it boils down to. You don't want to make anyone feel like the person who did you wrong made you feel. So there are things that happen to us that we may view as simple things that may have happened to you when you was in school. I remember back in middle school, some of y'all may be old enough, and this may have happened to y'all. And I don't think it got nothing to do with age, but I know I see Marty Mars on here. I know Marty Mars know about this. I know you know about this when I say it. Back in the days, it used to be this thing when you was walking down the hallway in school, and somebody would come up behind you and just on the back of your neck, like that little part right there, and just right on the back of your neck. That was like a thing in school. And oh man, it would be so terrible. People used to walk down the hallway like this, like to try to not get their neck slapped, And a lot of people slapped the wrong person on the back of the neck and end up getting beat up behind slapping the wrong person on the neck. But the point I'm making is that a lot of times when we saw people doing that, a lot of us, including me, I was like, I'm gonna get me somebody. They got me. Now it's time for me to get me somebody. Because when they pop you in the back of the neck, everybody just start laughing, especially if somebody know how to really do it, to get that sound. If you know how to do it and get that sound, it's gonna sound off in a way that make everybody go, they gonna laugh or they gonna go, whoo, when they hear that sound. So my thought process, I'm gonna give me somebody. But when you think like that, you are not taking into consideration that whoever it is that you get, they're not gonna like that. That's not gonna be something that feels good to them. It didn't feel good to you. You just chalked it up to, man, these cats in school, we in school, this is what we do. There's some little hood stuff we do. Ha, we laughed it off. But you didn't really like it. You didn't like it. You didn't enjoy that. It's painful. It's embarrassing. People laughing at you. But your mindset was, I'm gonna go get me somebody to try to make them feel exactly how I felt. And that's what a lot of us do on bigger scales in terms of things that happen in our life. So we're abused, so we become abusers. See? Somebody introduces us to a particular drug that puts us on a path of addiction. Somebody say, oh man, just try it, man. I'm telling you, man, forget weed. This gonna get you high, and then, man, just try it, man. All right, man. Now, all the while, they know that once you try this drug, you out of there. This gonna blow, this gonna take you away. Like Calgon, you're gonna be out of there. Like holy underwear. So they let you do that anyway. And once you gone, you gone. So we will spend more time in some cases trying to put somebody else up on that same drug, the same situation that somebody did to us, put them on that same road instead of trying to get help for ourselves. Trying to separate and distance ourselves from the very individual who put us on that path, because lives have been changed behind some dope. Good girls gone bad behind some dope. School nerds strung out behind some dope. People you would never expect, beautiful women, just like, oh my gosh, look at her now. It's over. Out of there. Walking the streets, willing to do whatever it is to get some dope. This is somebody's daughter. This was somebody's mama. In a lot of cases, this is somebody who at some point was on a just a regular road in life, just living their life, doing their thing. And somebody turned them on to something that they knew was going to mess their life up, because somebody maybe had turned them on to it. So you see a lot of the flip side. You see a lot of people who have been through those types of situations on dope, on drugs, and they go the opposite direction when they fight their way back from the addiction. Then they turn into people who work in the field of prevention. They're like, I don't want nobody else to go down the same road that I went down. I don't want to see nobody. And that is the mentality we have to have, regardless of what somebody else did to us. Because first off, you have to recognize who the problem person is. You're not the problem person in the beginning. You're innocent. Nobody told some older person in the family, you didn't tell them to molest you. You didn't tell them to touch you inappropriately. Some little young girl, they didn't tell some uncle in the family to violate them. They didn't tell. You're not the problem person. They are the problem person. They are the one with the issue. So you grow up holding this thing in, feeling like it's your fault that somebody did this to you. It's not your fault that some fool did this to you. But we've been made to believe that in a lot of cases, because unfortunately, when these types of things happen within the family, unfortunately, the family creates a circle of protection around the abuser or the molester. We've had situations, y'all seen it all the time. Y'all have seen situations where a woman is in a relationship with a man who's not even the father of that child or that little girl, and he's slipping in there, touching and fondling that little girl at night and doing unspeakable things to that little girl. And when she does tell her mother gets mad at her. Her mother blames the daughter because the mama got problems too. It's a cycle. So when that happens, the person who's been abused, they're going to lock up now. They're going to shut down. Now it's like, what chance do I have if I've confided this and told this to the one person that I feel like should be my protector, and they said, you lying, what can you do after that? But shut down. So something has to come along later on down the line to make you understand that you are not the problem person. Ain't your fault. It wasn't your fault. See? So that's one of the hardest steps to get, hardest hurdles to get people to overcome, because little children will ask the question, well, what did I do? What did I do wrong? A little child getting beat saying, I'm sorry, mom, I'm sorry. Sorry for what? I don't care what a child did. It's a level to the discipline. I'm not a person who is against whooping your child. I ain't against that. I'm against beating and abusing your child. I'm down with the whooping. I'm down with the belt. Come on with it. But I'm not in favor of just donkey kicking the hell out of your child because they didn't clean their room, and now you about to get a 42-minute whooping because you didn't clean your room, because the parent is dealing with some internal stuff that they are unleashing on this child. So we got to make people know that, hey man, whatever happened to you, it wasn't your fault. Even if, as an adult, because it kind of twists when you get to an adult. So as a child, no. But even if as an adult, we may make certain decisions that wasn't in our best interest, like, man, that we were fully conscious and aware of. When they slid that tray over to you with that pot on it, you was 25. You was 31. You was 19. You knew that this wouldn't. This is cocaine. Y'all heard Rick James say it was a hell of a drug. You heard him say that. That's going through your mind. But you still made the conscious decision to try it anyway. And now you gone. Or it ain't got to be cocaine. It could be anything. It could be crack. It could be pills. It could be whatever's new that's going on right now. You made a conscious decision. So in that regard, yeah, you are responsible. You made a decision as an adult that changed your life, but somebody still was at the root of it that put you in the game, that made it available to you, and you made that decision. So now you got to fix that, and you got to forgive yourself and not beat the hell out of yourself because you made a bad choice, because we all make bad choices. Some bad choices are just not as detrimental as other ones. See, some bad choices will take you all the way out. Some will take you to the door of being all the way out, and some will just beat you up a little bit, and then you be like, okay, but I took a beating, but I made it out of that. But you have other individuals who will impose things upon people that they had no control over, nor did they even see coming. For example, I told you we gonna go some places today, man. Y'all gotta walk with me. I ain't gonna stomp too hard, but I'm gonna walk. You have these cats that like to go to clubs and put stuff in females' drinks. They like to slip. Back in the days, old school, we used to call that slipping them a Mickey. I don't know what they call it now, but they call them roofies or slipping a Mickey. But they would put things in women's drinks at the bar. You buy them a drink, or even worse, you sitting there, she hasn't had any interaction with you, and she turns her head for a second to talk to a friend, and you crumble up some powder, something substance in her drink, and then when she blacks out or whatever, becomes incoherent or whatever, you take her off somewhere and you violate her. See, that's the lowest of the low. That's almost as low as it gets. So when a woman goes through that, where she has no control over her physical, she doesn't have the ability to defend against something like that happening to her once it's happened, and then later on when it gets revealed what happened. Man, can you imagine something happening to you while you unconscious that you would never allow to happen? Then it's after the fact and it's already happened, man or woman. See? Just imagine that. And then all of a sudden, once it's revealed that, well, ma'am, this is what happened. Apparently, this guy put something in your drink. And so you have all kind of thoughts going through your mind of something that was totally not your fault. And the psychological effect and emotional effect that it can have on a person, man, it's hard to reverse that. But a lot of people who've been molested, they grow up and they do that. Because it plants the seed and it breeds a sickness in people that they didn't want to be in them. But it's like it unleashes a demon, man. So we can't have y'all around here blaming yourself for things that you had no control over. You can't blame yourself for things that you had no control over. You have to pray your way out of it and work your way out of it. And if you got to get some kind of help or therapy or counseling, then that's just what you got to do. See? You have to feel the strength inside of yourself to say, okay, this is not something that I planned for my life, but I'm going to overcome this. And I'm going to make sure that this don't happen to nobody else on my watch. You got to know right from wrong. And that sounds real simple, but it's actually a deep point, because if you understand just the basic principles of right and wrong, and then somebody violates you in some kind of way, somebody does you wrong, then you know just from the principle of right and wrong that, okay, they did this to me, but I'm not going to ever backdoor and do that to nobody else. Not going to make you feel like that. That's not what I'm going to do. But to take it out of a dark place and bring it more to the surface, I'll talk about just dealing with people in general. Just certain people who don't play by the rules of friendship, don't play by the rules of just basic courtesy and etiquette, don't play by the rules of fair dealing, whether it be business, whether it be whatever. In other words, you loan somebody some money. You loan somebody some money. You help them get back on their feet. They were struggling. Rent was due. Lights was about to get cut off. They were struggling. You helped them to get back on their feet as a friend. When they got back on their feet, they act like you never gave them that money. They never paid it back. Got attitude when you mentioned it. Talk crazy to you, all kinds of things. Or just disappeared altogether. You helped them out, now you can't get in touch with them. They just vamped. So what happens is, if you have been that generous person all your life, you've been helping folks, you always the one. See, some of y'all are that one person in the family, that one person in the circle of friends. Some of y'all are that one person who always looking out for everybody else, even to the point where you kind of deny yourself at times. Some of y'all in this chat, y'all that person. And it's nothing wrong with having that kind of generous spirit. You just have to know where to place it. Got to know where to direct it, because everybody is not worthy of your generosity. So when that happens and then you get burned, people reach a breaking point. And people will say, well, man, that's it. I ain't doing nothing for nobody. I'm looking out for number one. I ain't helping nobody. I ain't doing nothing for nobody. I don't care what's going on. Not going to happen. Okay. We understand why you might feel that way, because it's just a frustration, because you allowed yourself to get burned. You got to take some accountability for yourself as well. But then you have people who would decide, okay, well, this is how we playing the game. I'm going to play the game too. Jimmy Robinson says sometimes that one person needs help as well. Yeah, because they are enablers, professional enablers. You know, it's like they just want to please everybody. I play basketball with a homie of mine. I love him, but I'm not going to say his name, but I play ball with a homie of mine who he always gives up a foul. Even when he didn't hit the dude, even when he didn't foul the guy, if the guy goes up strong and they make a little contact and the guy misses the shot, he's your ball. Always gives up the foul. And when he's on my team, man, I want to just go crazy, because you have a spirit in you that is overly accommodating, even with an opponent. So when you have an overly accommodating spirit, people would take advantage of you. People will take advantage of you, and they'll look at you like, oh, this is an easy win. They will look at you where every time they get in a bind, they know who they can call. They know, okay, let me call Amanda GD. Because the last time I called Amanda, I needed $500 one time, and Amanda brought it. Then I called back 2 weeks later. I needed 300 more. Amanda broke bread again. Then she broke bread again. And they have no shame in coming to the well over and over again. No filter. Never say, man, I have been bleeding it a lot. Let me fall back. Nope. As long as you provide it, they're going to be there. Because they are taking advantage of your generosity and that over accommodating spirit that you demonstrated. But you have people who will say, okay, we're going to play the game like that. I'm going to be the same way. Let me start getting people. Let me do, I got scammed. I'm going to become a scammer. Oh, I see how they did it. I see how they did me. I'm going to become a scammer now. Let me do it too. I'm going to get my money back. But that's not you. It's not your character. Because your character is set up in such a way that when you start scamming, your conscience is going to kick in. You're going to feel some kind of way about it. You're going to be like, man, you're going to feel bad for the person that you beat out of their money. You're going to feel bad for the person that you decided that, okay, you know what? I'm going to act like I'm selling this product. I'm going to take all this money in and nobody's going to receive what it is I'm claiming to be selling. You're going to have a negative feeling in your spirit behind it, because that's not how you set up. You're not built like that. But some people allow themselves to turn into the very thing that did them wrong. Can't do that. Because now you have submitted to the dirty side of humanity. You submitted to the dirty side of humanity, and you've joined on to that side. Say, oh, they get me. Man, you know what kind of world we live in. They get me. I'm going to get them. I'm going to get somebody. I'm going to get somebody. It's like watching a fight. Big fight break out in the hood. Somebody come along and just bing, to steal off on somebody, right? Person get hit and never saw who hit them. They so mad that they got hit that they just find somebody else to hit that didn't have nothing to do with it. Because all the rationale is gone. It's like, I got to get mine back. But you getting it back against somebody who's innocent. That's how we do when we play that type of game, when we decide that we're going to become the people who did us wrong. You thinking that you're getting your get back. How is it a get back when you're not even getting the person who got you? Now, it's different if the person that got me, I find a way to get them back. Then we got a whole nother conversation. But it's not justified when you get somebody that's innocent, man. So I got abused, so I'm going to abuse somebody who never did nothing wrong to me, never mistreated me. My last relationship, my woman just dogged me out and she used me, took me for my money, took my son from me, moved out of town, ran off with my best friend. So now I get with the next woman and she's A1. And I just treat her like trash because I'm imposing all of the pain that the last one imposed on me. I'm transferring that and I'm putting it on her, and she's not deserving of it. Shout out to Mike Best. I appreciate the love, Mike Best. Mike Best, you doing a money test? He put testing on there. Mike Best with the money test. Appreciate the love, man. We are encouraging each other right now to not become like the people who did us wrong. Fight through that. Understand, clear your mind to understand that, look, hey man, that's one incident that was carried out by one individual who is a part of the total of 7 billion people on the planet. The rest of the world does not deserve to be treated like the person treated me. Total strangers do not deserve that. See, a lot of crime takes place because of poverty. A lot of crime takes place because of conditions that are in place that lead people to start doing what they think is a good method of survival. But a lot of times, a lot of crimes and things like that take place because people are just out seeking revenge for things against people that they have no connection to. Somebody stole my car, I'm gonna go steal somebody else's car. Somebody broke in my house, okay. We're gonna start doing some kick though. We're gonna start breaking in people's houses. That's that term again, dollar bill, casualties of hurt people hurting people. See? That's a big term. That's a true statement. See? But hurt people because the people that got hurt never got healed. That's why hurt people, because the hurt person never got healed. Whether it was on their own, they didn't want to talk about it. They shut down, didn't want to talk about it, and they internalize it, and then it manifests itself in another way. Or they just said, forget it, I'm going left. So you giving your all, you giving love, money to people, and you've helped people along the way. and they burn you, and you decide you're gonna start burning people. You got to do that. As an artist in the music business, I've seen situations where artists have been on record labels and they have got caught up in bad record deals. They've signed bad deals, right? And in the midst of signing those bad record deals, um, they it taught them the business. Because that's one thing about hardships in life. Hardships in life will actually teach you lessons that if you can get past the hardship, the tough part, you are a stronger, wiser person, and you know how to navigate moving forward. But I've seen people that have been on record labels and got cheated by their record labels and started their own record labels and proceeded to treat their artists the same way they got treated. So now they cheating their artists because they're following a template that they learned from the cats who was cheating them. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm gonna go in a different direction. I don't want to be like those who did this to me. When I start my thing up, I'm gonna look out for the artist. I'm gonna help the artist. I'm gonna empower the artist. I'm gonna actually, you know what would be a cool thing, man? It'll never happen. Let me say that first and foremost. It'll never happen. But what'll be a cool thing is if some of these record companies, if they taught their artists the business. See, there's a term in the music business called artist development. And that simply means that there are individuals who work in a label who specialize in the polishing process and the development of the artists that are on the label. In other words, they teach them how to perform. They teach them how to carry themselves in media. They teach them how to properly structure songs, and they teach them, they take the edge off in terms of their creativity, and they polish them up and they make them better artists. But there's no category or department in a record label for the development of the business mind of the artist. And naturally it wouldn't be, because labels want dumb artists. They don't want smart artists. But wouldn't it be cool if a label came out and there was some guys that was like, you know what, no, we want to empower our artists and teach them aspects of the industry that will, in the long term, sustain them. I think most artists would be very appreciative of that kind of knowledge, and it would make more artists want to gravitate towards those types of labels, because it's not just about developing. They just want to develop your artistry. They don't want to develop your mind. They want to keep you dumb, because a dumb slave is a good slave. So I've seen guys start labels up and they start wanting to treat artists the same way. They come with these whack, bogus contracts, these outlandish contracts, these outlandish deals, and these outlandish stipulations. And it's like, you would think that an individual who has been raked over the coals already, you've been dragged through the mud, you would think that that would not be the direction you would want to take another individual. Because again, as I said in the beginning, you know how you felt when you got dragged. You know how you felt when you got slapped in the back of the neck. You know how you felt when your daddy was putting them haymakers on you. So it's a mindset, and it's an understanding that has to be developed within the hurt person. It's not your fault. And the last thing that you should do is become that. Should never do that. Make the world better off of your pain. And that's easy to say because, man, I got to go through this just to make the world better. Yep. That's how it is sometimes. Many of us who subscribe to certain religious doctrines, we believe in a higher power. We may call him God. We may call him Jehovah. We may call him Yahweh. We may call him Allah. Many of us who believe in that higher power, we believe that he sent prophets, that he placed prophets among us, men who would tell the people what was to come, that would warn the people what was to come. But those individuals that we refer to as prophets, they suffered some of the worst treatment known to man in some cases. If you study the history of a man in the scripture named Job, Job went through some stuff, man. And this was God's man. Moses, Jesus, they went through some stuff. But the things that they went through, and it's funny, the things that they went through those things for several reasons. They went through those things to prove themselves worthy of the position that God had them in and wanted to put them in and exalt them higher up. You got to go through something. You ever heard the term, in order to get to something, you got to go through something. You don't just get the throne. You don't just get the prize. Now, I'm not saying, don't get me, I'm not saying, well, yeah, little child gets molested. You got to go through something. No, I ain't talking about that. Person that does that, man, they deserve it. But when you go through general situations in life, and afflictions in life, even if it's something like that, and you make it through it, use that as something that you can build on for the next little young baby that might be about to or in that situation. Once you've been through it, flip it around, man, the best you can. Does that take the pain away from you? Probably not, or at least not immediately. But I do believe that it is part of the process. See, you got to go through something to get to something. No pain, no gain. So I don't encourage the letting evil win you. Don't let it win you over. Don't let evil win you over. Recognize that it's just that. Okay, you know what? Oh, this is evil. What would you do if you got invited to a party or a get together at somebody's house or something? Friend of yours invites you over, and then all of a sudden, you say, okay, well, this is my homeboy. Okay, you say it's cool. And then you get to this place, and when you get in there, you see all kind of crazy stuff going on in there. People over there smoking crack and snorting cocaine and all kind of wild, sick stuff happening in this place, right? You got the option to leave. You got the option to get the hell up out of there. You don't have to stay in that place. And you recognize, oh, this is evil. Oh, this is crazy. This ain't for me. That's the key. You got to recognize that what happened to you, that's not normal. Even if you thought it was at a time, nah. No, oh, wait a minute. Care who it is. Your daddy was crazy. Your mama was crazy. Your uncle was crazy. Your friend, they was wrong for what they did to you. Care how much you love them. Some people still love their parents. I'm not telling you not to. But I'm saying through the worst of the worst that they went through, some people still like, well, that's my mom and she did the best she can. I ain't knocking that because guess what? She probably got the same thing. It's a cycle, just like I said. But somebody got to break it. Somebody got to break it. So you have short-term responses. You got responses for that have the short-term action, and you got the long-term. You got to see what the long-term action is going to be. Because in the immediate aftermath of something, sometimes it's too fresh to fix. It's too fresh. If when I was 10, 11 years old, I forgot how old I was, but I remember when Ronald Reagan was the president, right? I remember when Ronald Reagan was the president. And why am I saying that? Like, y'all like, why is he talking about Ronald Reagan? Because Ronald Reagan got shot. This dude tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan when I was a little boy. It was on TV. Ronald Reagan was coming out the thing, and somebody blah, and they got him. But he didn't die. The point I'm making is that what if the day Ronald Reagan got shot, some comedian would have just made a joke out of it on national TV? It wouldn't have went over well because it was too soon, too fresh. But 10, 15, 20, 30 years later, if somebody makes a joke about Reagan getting shot today, nobody's going to be even offended about that. So sometimes in the moment, you can't even talk to people. You ever seen somebody so mad just about something, man, they just so aggravated, you can't even calm them down because their mind is so fixed on, I got to get back whoever did this to me. Can't even control them, can't even pull them off the ledge. You on the outside looking in, you see this person, you getting ready to go to the penitentiary, bro. Calm down. They're saying, man, I don't care. Then you make them calm down. Then later on, they come to you and they say, man, whew, man, I appreciate you, bro. I was on one, man. I was on one. Let me see what y'all talking about, man. Mike D, I appreciate the love, appreciate the donation, Mike D. Thank you so much. These are the hard conversations, man. These are the hard conversations, but they're necessary conversations because we got to understand that life does not go like this, y'all. It don't go like that. Life be, whoa, oh yeah, it's cool. Whoa, that's how life go. So when it start doing this, and it's like riding a mechanical bull or riding a real bull, you got to hang on. And you got to understand that this is the pattern of life. You're going to come across difficult, tough situations. It's just how it is. What kind of life you think you're going to get to have, bro? We're just going to be smooth. Y'all singing the Isley Brothers? Nothing but smooth sailing. No, that ain't how it works. Nothing but smooth sailing tonight. Anything that you want from me. Y'all was babies when that came out. Y'all don't even know nothing about that song. See? And let me cross it over a little bit too, because sometimes this topic I'm talking about, not becoming like the people who did you wrong, sometimes it's not even just about the person who got hurt. Sometimes some of us will call ourselves coming to the rescue for somebody else that got hurt, and you would do something that's out of character that you shouldn't do and get yourself jammed up. So now you've become, but let me put a little sticky note on that. I'm not talking about defending. Somebody do something to your child, then all bets is off. Whatever you got to go do to them, I salute you. But if somebody scam your partner out of $2,000 or some kind of little stunt they pull, hey man, that's not worth you jumping in the mix and deciding I'm gonna handle that for you, and then you sitting in prison behind you doing something, or you decide I'm gonna start, man, I know what you can do. You can set this thing up, we can get that money, and you start setting up scams. And pick your battles, man. Certain things you got to charge to the game. Certain things you got to just be like, okay. Now some dude beat up your mama. Okay, now you got some action. You got some justifiable cause. But certain things, other things, you got to let them make it, man. You got to tell your friend, hey, well, you signed up for it. No, man, but they took one. Hey, bro, you signed up for it. Lesson learned, hopefully. You can't be the one. Somebody has to be the voice of reason to a person when they are not able to calmly, logically rationalize and not rationalize, but sift through and correct the problems that they're going through. See? Recognize that you are not the person who did it, man. Let me see what y'all talking about, man. I'm trying to find that comment that's going to blow my mind. Trying to find that comment that's going to blow my mind. Trying to find that comment that's going to blow my mind. Trying to find that comment that's going to blow my mind. How do we protect ourselves mentally and emotionally? Depends on what you mean by when you say protect. Because you will never be able to prevent things from coming into your life that will have an effect on you mentally and emotionally. It's just not how the world works. You're going to always encounter something that catches you off guard and that triggers you emotionally in some way. It's going to trigger anger. It's going to trigger sadness. It's going to trigger frustration, depression. It's going to trigger happiness. You're going to go through that range of emotions just by, unless you decide to be a hermit and just stay in the house, and then that's going to trigger an emotion. So to protect yourself mentally and emotionally, in my opinion, is to understand that there are things out there that are going to wage war against your mentality and your emotions. You got to already know. Stay ready to keep from having to get ready. Plain and simple. That was a good one. Let me try to find me another one. Okay, all right, Ivan. Okay, Ivan, I see you try to show that you know a little something. Say no smooth sailing, but it's more like a harvest for the world. So y'all don't know about the Isley brothers, then y'all don't know what me and Ivan talking about. Hold up, man. We gotta do an OG salute. OG salute. My brother KO, OG KO, is in this chat, man. He is in here. I just seen him. I scrolled back up and I synced him. SEENT. I synced him. So right about now, we're going to stop what we're doing and give the OG salute. By now, y'all should know what it is, man. Peace signs, power fists, 100 salutes. Anything that shows love, hearts, whatever you got, man, represent for my brother. Power fists, strong arms. Get that up right now, man. To a cat that been riding shotgun with me for 30 years. 30 years. We done been through the ups and the downs. We done seen it all. And, you know, it's crazy that he would come in tonight while we on this particular topic because, you know, me and him have seen it all in this music business and in life. We've seen a lot of times where people have been done wrong by other people. You know, people that was close to us, people that we know, and we watched people go in both directions, to the left or to the right, where it could be like, okay, this person got done wrong, so they started doing wrong. And this person got done wrong, but they clicked in the reality and was like, nah, I'm not going to be like that. You know, we witnessed a lot of that. We've been in positions like that. We've been in positions to where we could have fell off and went to the dark side. But we chose to just keep it on the straight and narrow and deal with whatever consequences that come with going on the straight and narrow, and deal with whatever seemingly slow progress that comes with keeping it on the straight and narrow. So I appreciate the love y'all showing my brother. Also, real quick commercial. We getting ready to upload an interview that I did with the hit man Archie Lee from Herschelwood Hardheads, man. Everybody in H-Town, you know, and surrounding areas, y'all are familiar with Lil Kiki and the Herschelwood Hardheads. I just interviewed Archie Lee, and it was a really, really dope interview. That brother was teaching strong, man. So when this live is over, if y'all still woke, be sure to go check it out. I haven't put it up yet, but it'll be up once I get out. Make sure you go and check out that interview and tell them that your big brother, that you came over here, you know. Well, I guess y'all gonna be on my channel, so you ain't gotta say you came from there, but go check out the interview. That's all I can say. How do you not become like the people who did you wrong? You just don't. You just don't. See? You just don't do it. You recognize right from wrong. And if you want to talk to somebody, you talk to somebody. A lot of times we make a mistake of feeling like nobody in the world. I just told y'all there's over 7 billion people on the planet. That's why they're trying to depopulate right now. But I just told y'all that it's 7-something billion people on the planet. We make the mistake of feeling like nobody else have went through the one thing that we going through at the time, or that we went through. Nobody else has experienced this before. It ain't nothing new under the sun. It's nothing that you can go through that a billion other people haven't went through before you. And they can say, well, that's why they got groups for certain things. And okay, we have this group, we have this group, we have that group, because people are going through the same things every day. People are hooked on dope. People are being abused. People have been molested. People have been scammed and mistreated and verbally abused and bullied, bullied online and things of that nature. That's a part that we haven't touched on, is just the online bullying and all these different things, man. With young people, see, because a lot of our young people, they kind of jump on bandwagons, and if they don't, they would jump on the bullying bandwagon against another young person. Sometimes not because they just had that kind of evil spirit in their heart. Sometimes they do it so the person won't be on them. I better join in this to take the focus off me and put it on that. It's a defense mechanism. But what we got to make everybody understand is that, look, hey, don't join on into the bullying. Join on with the person that's getting bullied, and now the numbers are in your favor against the bully. Because guess what? A lot of them bullies, man, they be insecure, man. They got stuff going on. They've been abused. It's a connected chain. Everybody need help. Everybody needs help, man. Drop y'all locations, man. I told y'all I wasn't gonna hold y'all long, but I had to get this one out. Joseph Melick says hyenas. That's right, man. Hyenas and running packs. Drop y'all location so I can see where we binging at tonight. We be binging. Yeah. We be binging. We gotta make ourselves, we gotta force ourselves to be better. And we got to pull the inner strength that we have. A lot of y'all don't think y'all strong internally. I talk to people that say, I'm just too weak, I can't do it. We're like, yes, you can. You did everything else. You got to draw from your inner strength. You got to pull some type of spirituality out. Crockett, Texas, Alice, Texas, Austin, Texas. We started the game off with 3 Texas in a row, then we went straight to Barbados. Barbados, Portland, Oregon, Traverse City, Michigan, Anniston, Alabama, H-Town in the building, New Hampshire. Is that Cumbria, United Kingdom? Albuquerque, Lancaster, Bay Area, G County, Cumbria, South Granville, D-Town, St. Paul. It's something I need to be telling y'all. What's up, Derek? Australia. And it's something I'm supposed to be telling y'all that I'm not remembering. I'm going to remember as soon as I get off. Man. What's up, Shaheen? South Florida. What is VUMNGO? The Latin sector. Shout out to the OG Grim. Hawaii, Brooklyn, New York. We binging. East Coast, West Coast, down south, Midwest, up north, overseas. I see Angie Wise. Respect to y'all, man. Don't let your downfalls, don't let bumps in the road lead you to downfalls. Don't go through life thinking that it was supposed to be an easy ride. That ain't how it work, man. It's not how it work. And I'm not saying be happy when you go through a struggle, because who can do that? But also discipline yourself and work towards embracing the challenge of making it through the struggle. Embrace the challenge of making it through the struggle. And when you do that, it fortifies you and equips you better to take on the fight. You ever seen two people fighting and only one of them was trying to fight? And he's swinging at the other person, the other dude is like, hey man, watch out. But then some kind of way the tables turned and the dude said, all right, okay, let's go and get down. Now he's embracing the challenge of like, okay, you know what, if this is gonna happen anyway, I'm not gonna let it happen by you just beating the hell out of me and I'm giving no resistance. If this gonna happen, I ain't going out without a fight. That's how we got to look at the hardships in our life. If it's gonna happen, okay, cool, I'm in it, but I'm not gonna just stand there and just get beat up. I'm gonna fight. And a lot of times, man, if you fight, even if you're scared, you're not just challenging the situation. Before you even challenge the situation itself, the first thing you challenge is your fear. That's the first thing. That's the first thing that generates up in you. This is the fear, that little nervousness. So you don't challenge, you got to challenge that first and say, okay, you know what? Whatever it's going to be is what it's going to be. Then you jump in the mix and attack the situation. And you attack the situation with the same force or greater force than it's attacking you. You don't come in a situation, stop. You don't come in a situation like that. You bring the same force that it brought to you. And then you, in the words of Minister Farrakhan, you project that, you put that fear back on them. You reverse it. You reverse it. It's amazing how that works. Brandon Atwood says, we don't always fall down gracefully, but we get back up just the same. Absolutely. I've never seen nobody fall down. Anytime somebody fall down, they go, whoa. It's always ugly. Sometimes the getting back up is ugly. But the key is you back up. You just want to get back up. That's the point, man. Boxers get knocked down. How many boxing fans I got in the chat? Just raise your hand or give me a yes, or if you're a boxing fan, raise your hand. Because I want to send y'all to a fight that I want y'all to watch. I want y'all to watch this fight. Where my boxing fans at? I don't see too many. Okay, they coming in now. I want y'all to go watch a fight between Larry Holmes and a man named Ernie Shavers. Larry Holmes versus Ernie Shavers. And the reason why I want y'all to watch that fight, and make sure it's Larry Holmes versus Ernie Shavers 1, because they fought twice. Make sure it's the first fight. The reason why I want y'all to watch that fight, I don't even know if I should tell y'all. I don't want to give it away. But I got to. Ernie Shavers is one of the hardest hitting heavyweights ever. They say he hit harder than George Foreman. They say he hit harder than Mike Tyson. They say he hit harder than Joe Louis. They say he's one of the hardest hitting heavyweights in history. When he hits you, normally it's over. Ernest Shavers hit Larry Holmes with one of the hardest, cleanest punches I ever seen in boxing history. Clean as a whistle. And when you see how hard this man hit Larry Holmes, you'll be like, it's a wrap. But Larry Holmes got up from that hit, that punch, gathered himself, and came back and won the fight. After that hit, it's a principle in that we have to carry with us. You're going to get hit. Some of the hits are going to be hard. Some of them going to be harder than others. Some of them going to be like, whoa. Some of them going to put you down to where you will be on the canvas of life, and you will actually be wondering, do I want to even try to get up and get back in there and get some more of this? And the ref is counting. See, this is an analogy. This is a principle. And you have to decide, is it worth me getting up? But if you think about the prize and the goal that you was trying to reach before you got knocked down, then the answer should be, yeah, it's worth me getting up because I still haven't accomplished what it is I'm trying to get. So no matter what was done to you, that's part of the fight. It's part of your fight. My fight might be different. Her fight might be different. His fight might be different. But whatever becomes your fight, whatever it is that hits you and knocks you down, you got to get up. Don't just lay there and let the ref count you out, because it's stuff you got to get done. Y'all give me to 100 likes, man, before we burn out, man. Can we get to 100 likes? If y'all haven't hit the like button already, we can get to 100 likes on this particular chat tonight. Give me to 100 likes, and I'll get out y'all hair, because it's 116. We got 3 more to go. How we looking? Doing the like auction. Ether87 said, good looking out, y'all. The struggle made him great. See, the struggle is supposed to make all of us great. See? The struggle is not supposed to break you. The struggle ain't supposed to win. The best stories are the ones that are told about people who started off, then things got bad, and it looked like it was over, and oh my gosh, he was out of there. Then all of a sudden, he rose back up, and then those are the best stories. What if I told you a story and I said, yeah, man, once upon a time, there was this guy, and he was going through life, and he was trying to get some things done. He was trying to win in life, and all of a sudden, man, he came across this opposition, and then when he met the opposition just took him down and knocked him down. The end. Y'all will be like, that's it? The dude didn't, why even tell that story? But if I talk about how the man, he was this close to just, it was over, then all of a sudden he got up. I see my boy Dean, Codeine is in the building, and I'm gonna give you a wrestling analogy. Back in the days when we used to watch the wrestling matches back in the days, man. Mid-South wrestling, that's what we used to watch back in the day. You would see Wrestling always had a good guy and a bad guy. That's just how it was set up. Just good guy, bad guy. Good team, bad team. And you would see the good guy just getting the snot beat out of him. It's like, oh man, he's gonna lose to the bad guy. And then he would slam him down, and all of a sudden the ref is 1, 2, and then you might see just at the last minute he just reversed the hold. Last minute, he put his leg on the rope. You thought it was over with. You know how back in the days they used to do this thing in wrestling, the guy just out of there, and the referee would raise his arm up, and he would drop it. He would raise it up again, and he would drop it. Then you think it's over. He raised it third time, so he raised it up again. He would hold it. He fought back. It's dramatic. That's how we got to be, man. But never, ever let the people who do evil towards you transform you and bring you into their mind for you to assimilate. Don't let Dracula bite you and turn you into a vampire. The best way I can say it. Don't let Dracula turn you into a vampire. And off topic real quick before I go, James Davis, my favorite wrestler of all time is Ric Flair. I'll catch y'all later, man. Woo!